Good afternoon. Uh, Thanks for your time this afternoon. I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you about Certona and our personalization platform and recommendations. And I'm happy to be accompanied with one of our great customers, partners, Gooch, with Soft Surroundings, who'll share some of her experience around personalization and product recommendations and go through some of the test cases and results. So a little bit about Certona. We have been doing real-time behavioral profiling, product recommendations, and cross-channel personalization since 2004. Probably the longest running solution provider in the retail personalization space. Right now we're powering personalized product recommendations to over 300 e-commerce sites with a combined online revenue of $20 billion. And we've consistently been testing our recommendation engine called Resonance against in-house and third-party solution providers in A/B tests to make sure we stay sharp and outperform other alternatives in terms of conversion, click-through, and revenue contribution from personalized product recommendations. Those are some of the metrics that you want to keep in mind as you look at product recommendations and personalization solutions. And we're very happy and proud to been selected as one of the top personalization vendors by the Internet Retailer Top 500 Guide for 3 consecutive years now. In terms of our customer base, we have customers across all key verticals within retail. Some very large customers like Staples, the second largest internet site after Amazon, and a number of we actually have quite a bit of apparel and houseware customers, and Soft Surroundings certainly falls into that category. Also, another interesting fact about our customer base and our infrastructure, during Cyber Monday of 2010, for every $100 that was spent online, $1 of that came directly through Certona's product recommendations. It's pretty impressive when you look at the fact that over $1 billion was spent online on Cyber Monday. And in terms of our infrastructure, our combined traffic across our customer base is roughly a little over 50% the size of Amazon. So there's quite a bit of experience and proven technology that's gone into our platform and solution. And really what we offer is not just recommendations on the website, but we extend that across different channels: email, call center, for those of you who are multi-channel retailers, even point of sale, in-store systems, mobile. So really our vision is to deliver personalization, a personalized experience across as many touch points as your consumers like to engage with you on. And we're not going to spend too much time on our underlying technology, but we do use pretty sophisticated neural network technology, which really is originated right here in San Diego. This is our hometown. And neural networks are self-learning, self-optimizing algorithms that keep getting better and smarter with more data, more information. So one of the very unique things about Resonance, our solution, is that we uniquely and individually profile every visitor that comes to your site. We do that in real time, do that anonymously without invading their privacy. So every visitor that's browsing on your site, looking at merchandise, looking at products, doing a keyword search, looking at different categories, adding things to cart, wish list. We're looking at every one of these events or interactions, and our engine is uniquely profiling every visitor, and also not only looking at behavioral interactions, but also purchase and transactions. We combine all this data for a given site that we're on, and based on this collective knowledge, we have some pretty sophisticated predictive models so we can anticipate what else a visitor might like, and that's what we put in front of them in terms of cross-sell, upsell, recommendations, promotional offers, personalized landing pages, home pages, etc. So the real-time profiling and optimization is really important because, as you know, you spend a lot of money and time driving traffic to your website, and your consumers are always one click away from your competitor's site. So you need to engage them literally after a few first couple of clicks or interactions on your site. If that experience is personalized and relevant, they'll stay. If not, they'll move pretty quickly. So what we focus on is that real-time behavior. We look at where they came from, which URL they were referred from, what keyword they typed in a search engine to get to your site, where they are on your site. Are they on the home page, category page, subcategory page, search result pages? Everything really matters in terms of the context. That context provides us with their intent and what they want to do on your site. And there's other information like purchase history, demographics. Those are optional information that we could use, but we really don't need to have all that information because, as you know, most of the visitors don't log in when they come to your site. They typically log in after they want to, when they want to complete a purchase. So it's important to use the behavioral data in real time before they leave the site. And of course, we look at your product catalog, content catalog. We look at the attributes so that we can, if you want to build merchandising rules around gender, around category, around brands, there are all kinds of attributes that you have in your product catalog that you want to be able to modify and curate so that the recommendations seem more logical and more intuitive. But the nice thing about all of this is that we also offer you a lot of analytics and reporting and testing capabilities, which Ellen will get into, so that you can test different strategies for personalization and actually let the data drive your decisions to see what's working and what's not working. It's amazing how often what sounds and seems intuitive is not optimal from a data and revenue performance perspective. So by having a lot of transparency reporting, we were able to really work with our customers in a collaborative way to test and optimize results. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the personalization can happen on the home page, on the website, different pages, landing pages within emails, certainly for retargeting, call center, and other touch points. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ellen to tell you about soft surroundings and her findings on personalization.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Ellen Gooch, and I work in the e-commerce department at Soft Surroundings. And you may be wondering, what is Soft Surroundings? Well, here is the copies of our catalog. We are a multi-million-dollar women's apparel cataloger based out of St. Louis. We primarily sell women's apparel. We also have products for bedding and skincare. And we design most of our apparel and most of our bedding right in St. Louis. Our first catalog was mailed in 1999, and we've been online since 1999 as well. Our president and founder, she was formerly a vice president of merchandising at Coldwater Creek. We have been a Certona client since early 2009, and we have been using their technology on our no search results page. So what that is if you go to a website and you search for an item and that retailer doesn't carry that item, the page that shows up that says, we're sorry, we don't have that item, we have Certona recommendations appearing on that page. Also on our product detail pages, on our shopping cart page, and we're also showing Certona recommendations in email. So here's an example of the no search results page. Previously, before launching with Certona, we had, I think, like a continue shopping button here, but there wasn't really anything to keep the customer engaged on the site and to help prevent them just from bouncing totally. Since we've added the Certona product recommendations at the bottom, we've seen a fair amount of revenue coming through this particular page. Here's an example of our product detail page. You can see we've got the product recommendation vertically on the right. About a year ago, we had them horizontally along the bottom, and we only had 3 recommendations. One of Certona's best practices is to move them vertically on the right side. We did that, and we've definitely seen a significant increase in clicks, page views, and conversions by having them much higher above the fold. Here's an example of our shopping cart page with the product recommendations along the bottom. We have 6 there. We're in the process of planning a test in the next few months where we're going to test out the placement of these recommendations, because one of the problems with where we have it now is as people add things to their shopping cart, it's going to push those product recommendations further down where they could be below the fold. So Certona has given us some great suggestions of different ways that we can move those product recommendations to get more exposure. And here are examples from email. We do put product recommendations in our order confirmation and our shipping confirmation emails, as well as we have a cart abandonment email that goes out a couple of days after somebody has abandoned our site with items in their shopping cart. We send them an email reminding them that they have things in their cart, and we also have product recommendations at the bottom. And this cart abandonment email has performed very well for us, and Certona was instrumental in helping us set this up. So not only are they serving the product recommendation, but just from trying to tie together what was in the cart, how our customer could go back and view what was in the cart, they helped us from beginning to end with that implementation. So now I'm going to go into testing, and this was one of the big selling points for us with Certona. We did talk to a number of other vendors when we were trying to evaluate which personalization company we wanted to go with. We talked with our web analytics vendor. They had a product that they offered. Talked to several other vendors that are here at the conference. Certona, one of the things that won us out with them was first, they were very transparent with all their information and with how they worked and the reporting that they offered, and also their amazing ability to test just about anything. We are really only scraping the surface and with the testing right now. I'm going to go through a few of those tests with you right now. So the first one here is on the product detail page. We are actually testing showing model images from the catalog. Those shots versus, these are called dress forms, or you can call them mannequins. When you first look at this, you might think, well, obviously you want to show the model, but from a cost perspective, it costs us a lot more to shoot that model photography. There was quite a few people in the company that were really pushing to do more of the product on the dress forms. It's a lot more affordable for us. So this test was about conversion rates, about engaging the customer on the website, but it also had a bigger purpose. Should we be putting more money toward model photography beyond just what we have in the catalog, but even increasing that more? And we found that we've actually run this test 3 times just to confirm the results each time. we found that the models definitely won. The customers spent more time online, they were more engaged, there was more impressions of the recommendations being served, and they also had a higher revenue per recommendation, conversion rate was higher, and it helped us make a business decision to put more money and resources toward more model photography. The second strategy that we're actually doing right now is Certona has the great ability to be completely automated, but also allow you to do manual merchandising if you want to do that. As I mentioned, our founder, she was a VP of merchandising at Coldwater Creek. Merchandising is in her blood, and she was very skeptical at the beginning of doing anything automated. Now she's a huge fan and a big believer. But one thing Certona lets us do is do manual merchandising where we want to. Here was a case where we wanted to try it out. We have a number of bedding collections that we offer. We wanted to, when somebody added a collection item to their cart, we wanted to be able to also show other items from that collection. Some of these might have naturally shown up as part of Certona's algorithms, but some of them, like the pillows and stuff, aren't purchased quite as often, so they might not have appeared. And we wanted to show those so we could give exposure to those items and hopefully draw people to purchase the entire collection. So we're still running this test now. We're trying to see if it does increase revenue per visit for those people that are adding collection items to their cart. We're leveraging the upsell, cross-sell opportunity by ensuring that
eCommerce Technology Theater continues to have presentations.
By ensuring shoppers see products are part of a collection, and we can offer a relevant recommendation with or without the collection. If there's not enough collection items to fill all 6 slots, can everybody hear me? Okay, if there's not enough recommendations to fill all 6 slots, Certona's engine will populate the remaining slots on that page. Okay, strategy 3. Way back in the beginning with Certona, we have our apparel department, we have our home decor, we have skincare. They were very, very reluctant about showing product recommendations from the different categories. Like skincare was like, we don't know if we want to see apparel recommendations in that category. Apparel wasn't sure if they wanted to see cosmetic recommendations there. So the beauty about Certona is, well, why don't we test it? And that's what we did. So we had a test where we allowed Certona to just make the most relevant recommendations regardless of category. And then we tested that against keeping the recommendations within the same category. And because we do sell a majority of apparel, that's the majority of what our products sold are, you're not going to see a lot of cosmetics necessarily show up, but we do have some cosmetic items that are big unit sellers. So what we found is letting Certona select the recommendations worked far and beyond us trying to control it and keep it within the same category. And it has the added benefit of if we have a traditional apparel buyer who never would have considered purchasing our beauty products, they now can see, okay, they're offering beauty as well, maybe I should check that out. Okay, so we've seen measurable results. This data, Certona has a very sophisticated reporting tool. This information comes from their reporting tool, but our company is such that we always have to build our own internal tracking and reporting as well. And we've done that, and we've seen with our own tracking that Certona has definitely provided lift through their personalization. So here you can see from January to June of 2010 to January to June 2011, responders are those people that actually click on the recommendations. It went from 8.63% up to 19.22%. One thing Certona told us when we started with them is over time you're going to see things continue to improve as their engine really understands our customers, our products, and builds their detailed profiles on our customers. And we've certainly seen that since kicking off with them in 2009, a steady increase. The percent of total conversions for responders went from 8.64 to 14.64%. And then percent of recommendation demand, so of all of our website demand, how much of it could be attributed to the product recommendations, went from 4.70 to 8.25%. and that has not been just a revenue shift. We've definitely seen the top line revenue growing as well. So from those time periods, the responder demand has increased 143%, the recommendation demand 162%, and the average order value up 10%. Is that the last slide? So anyway, we've been very pleased with our relationship with Certona. They are a company that will approach us and say, hey, have you thought about doing this? Should you try this? And it's not just about us going to them. They're always coming up with good ideas, strategic insights, ways that we can be doing things better. We truly feel like that they're a partner with us, and they have our best interest in mind as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ellen.